Now you're on there saying that. So today we're going to start with circles. And all of these formulas are really similar to each other. They are similar. They're individually going to be pretty easy to work with. You just have to like combine them all and remember them all. So we'll start with circles. The equation for a circle in the standard graphing form is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. The center of the circle is hk, the radius is r. You should have learned that in previous courses. We're just going to review that stuff. So here is an example. We're going to write the equation of a circle with the given conditions. The center is at negative 3, 7, and the radius is 5. So we will do x, and we will do minus h. So I do minus negative 3 squared plus y minus k squared equals the radius squared. That is the equation of that circle. Now, you can graph circles on your graphing calculator, but it is a pain because you have to solve it for y equals to do on your graphing calculator. So I like to go to Desmos if you want to see what this looks like. It was x plus 3, right?
Yeah.
Was it minus 7?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
And where's the center of this circle? Oh my gosh, we're making circles. Where's the center of this circle?
3 in the middle.
It is at negative 3, 7, right there. Now, do you notice how when I'm like, I guess you can't tell I'm clicking, but I'm clicking at negative 3, 7, and nothing's showing up. But if I like click on the circle, points show up because the center is not really part of the circle. That's like where you know to draw it, but it's not actually part of the circle. The definition of the circle is all the points that are the same distance away from a fixed point. So that center is that fixed point, but the circle is actually all the points around it. So we would graph the center point, and then you would go 5 points out from that center point, and then just connect to make a circle. Have you done the second one yet? Some of you have done it correctly, some of you have not. So we're going to do x plus 2 squared plus y plus 6 squared equals, and you have to square 2 radical 7. You have to square it. So to square that, you're going to do the 2 times 2 and square root of 7 squared. So it's going to be 4 times 7. Should be 28 right there. When people were doing their assignments in my other class, the biggest mistake I saw was not squaring the r, like just going too fast and writing it really quickly. So make sure you square the r. State the center and the radius of the circle, then graph it. So the center is negative 1, positive 3. So remember, the original equation says x minus h. So if this says x minus a number, it would have to be minus a negative 1.
No.
So you have negative 1, 3. And then our radius is 2. You went the other way. So this is r squared.
Oh, we gotta go backwards.
So you gotta make it, you gotta square root it. So once you graph the center, you're gonna go 2 points out, 2 units out, northeast, northeast, southwest, every direction. It's kind of hard to go diagonally 2 out, so just up and down, side to side. And then do your best to make it look like a circle. It's not the easiest thing. That's okay. All right, B. What is the center for B? Positive 4, negative 3. And our radius is square root of 5. So from this point, I need to go out square root of 5. I'm going to do that. Do you have that memorized? It is 2 point something. Ooh, how'd you get that? I think it's 2.24 actually, with rounding. But true, I did not have square root of 5 memorized. I just took out my calculator and I clicked square root of 5. So I'm going to go a little over 2. So 2 and about a quarter. Oh. Just do your best to connect them. If I can see the points in the center, that's acceptable, even if you can't make it from my circle. Because I have trouble too. All right, halfway through our notes. Now, they did not give it to you in that nice, easy form where you can just pull out the radius and the center. So we have to put it into that form. So this is why we reviewed complete the square. I'm going to start by writing together anything that has an x in it. X squared minus 14x. And then I'm going to leave a space. And I'm going to write plus y squared plus 4y. And I'm going to leave a space. And then I'm going to move the 11 to the other side. And to find what goes in that spot, we're going to complete the square, but you'll have to do it twice in the same equation. So we'll just totally do it 2 separate times. This one right here, we're going to do negative 14 divided by 2 squared. It's going to be 49, thank you. And then this one we'll do 4 divided by 2 squared. Okay, but we added numbers to one side of the equation, we have to add it to the other side. And then we'll factor it, x minus 7 squared plus y plus 2 squared equals, and that's 64 when you add them up. So you're going to have to do complete the square to be able to find the center and the radius. So my center is at 7, negative 2. And my radius is 8. All right. Question? No, but some of them will get tricky, and that's why I want to go through these notes quick so you can actually do your assignment and ask questions. Because you know that rule, before you do complete the square, you can't have a number here other than 1. Well, there's some in your homework that have numbers there.
Okay.
So let's try this one. We do complete the square. We do x squared minus 12x, leave a space. It's y squared minus 8y, leave a space, move the 27 over. So what's going to go in my first square? 36. and 16. And then you just find your information for that. If your radius was not a nice, easy 25, if it was like the square root of 20, you will be expected to simplify that. Don't give me a decimal answer, you would be expected to like simplify that. Should I write down what I'm saying?
Yes.
If this was a 20, if that was a 20, then you'd have to square root 20, and then what would you do? 4 and 5, and so you'd get 2 radical 5 for your radius, just in case. I know that that is in your homework, that kind of stuff. All right, the last question. Find the equation of the circle with a center at 3, -2, and contains the point 11, -2. So in order to write that equation of the circle, we need the center, which we have, and what else do we need? The radius, which we don't have. But the radius is from the center to any point on the circle, so we can find the radius using our distance formula, which was also in your mark. So it's going to be the square root of, subtract your x's and square it, plus subtract your y's and square it. Your distance formula, which is also the Pythagorean theorem, which also looks a lot like the equation of a circle. Oh. Okay. So we get the square root, this ends up being 64, I think. Yeah. So our distance is 8, that's also the radius. The distance is the radius. That's what it is. So we're going to write our equation. X minus 30 squared plus y plus 2 squared equals 64. Where did I get 64 from? You gotta take your radius and square it. All right. Ready to get started? Okay. So you want to get started and ask questions while you're working on it. It is a worksheet, and I'll be passing it out. But I know you're gonna have some questions, so use the time wisely.